Hello everyone and welcome back to the Ireland Esports Collegiate National Finals Counter-Strike 2. We are finally coming back to our map 2 between SETU and TCD. We just saw on Ancient a 13-7 victory in favor of Trinity, and now it is up to SETU to try to bounce back on their map pick of Inferno. I am Curtin, once again joined with me is Shaw. That 13-7 was definitely quite a map.
Yeah, it started off so well for SETU. But midway into that first half, Trinity just gained the momentum and they never looked back. So now we're on to the second map here, which is Inferno, which is SETU's map pick. And Trinity choose to go to the T side, which is very interesting. Wait. Oh yes, no. Sorry,
Trinity are actually on the CT side. Important to note there, but it is going to be a huge round to see what they can do here. We see on this T side, SETU are breaking their way through the apartments. They're going to try to push on through and see can they get out. It is going to look like a waterfall as well as that mid-split coming on in, but slowly doing it. 1 minute 10 on the clock, and they're going to start to push the trigger. M4 starts with the kill here. We are going to see the pit player of Anime Women Aren't Real get taken out, but gets one for their trouble. Smokes are down, site is taken, and now into the 3v3, they should get this bomb plant down.
Yeah, SETU we saw that in their T pistol round on Ancient. They were so explosive with their utility and just a push in general, just to execute in general. That Trinity are just not ready for it. And Trinity, I'll pause on talking for now. 2-on-2 retake. The retake is on. There's a player coming in from short and a player coming in from long. Moon has an A, but is not going to be able to use it very much. Taken by Asphyxia, and now it's only one player left in pitch. Christian around with the CSGO. There's a player sticking the bomb. And Asphyxia gets the kill. The reach, was that a 2-on-2 retake from Trinity will result in the round win.
Yeah, that is going to be a 3v3. That was a great site take from SETU. You know, bursting out of the apartments, taking that short control through mid is going to be so strong from them. And that is a massive turnaround, though, from Trinity to be able to do it. Asphyxia pushing on through. That was a great first kill to really open up the site through Moto. And now, going to the second round, they're going to be happy and looking strong here.
Yeah, one thing I do want to note is that in the match versus UCD, UCD never really went for these more aggressive sort of banana takes. You know, they always played a very similar style. They just fell instantly back to site, like Trinity will do in this round right here. But you'll see Trinity looking maybe to go re-aggress, taking this top banana space. So SETU, feeling like they're not being given anything towards B, are now grouping up towards A here, and there's two players here. A perfect flash in. Awaken gets a kill, but QB with the spray, with the lineup. Moon does get the kill, so they will be able to enter the site here. A 3-on-3 retake, but QB with another. And QB has set up TCD for the retake at 3-on-2 here. SETU with a bomb down. So the onus is on Trinity to make the first move. And Awaken will be able to get a first kill, but that's information for the player locations. And they don't expect Moon and Awaken will convert that 2v3. SETU answer right back.
Yeah.
The score is now 1-on-1.
Yeah, massive one to be able to take for SETU there to win out against Trinity. You know, they're just this fast play out mid. It was amazing pop flash, take out the short player. You're able to go through brackets, take the site. QB gets those kills back, but these close range fights sitting on the site, these SMGs that you're just using in these ratty little corners are exactly what they need. Yeah,
it puts Trinity's economy in a very poor location. They've got a lot of smoke grenades. I assume the idea here is that they're going to constantly re-smoke this entrance towards B here, just to fake the presence, to try and push SETU into A, where there are more players here, and they're playing at much closer angles. And a Woman Aren't Real gets a taste of or something, but Awaken does well to make sure that he doesn't go down with M4. And now 5-on-3 here for SETU.
Yeah, and these pistols, not expecting too much success here, already losing out on the long and short side. QB still in the apartments, ready with the deagle in hand, so maybe something could be found here, but they are turning their attention towards that B there. They keep re-smoking it, but instead SETU are going to be the ones to find the frags. Moon, with that M4, takes out QB, and now the two remaining TCD players, looks like they're going to be the ones tested here with these 5.7s, with this armor. This could be a massive turnaround, but the timing is not quite there to get more than one for Azuki. Asphyxia left alone with the 5.7, gets a double kill, but is not going to be enough there. So SETU, they are going to get a second round on the board. Doubling up there, they might lose the pistol, but they bounce back with this double round. And TCD, they spent so much money in the previous that they're not going to be able to invest once again other than some pistols and armor.
It could have been kind of sketchy there for SETU, because I feel like they could have spent a bit more time, you know, trying to find out where those last two players are. It still goes in their favor, right? They are only playing against pistols, for example. But I mean, you can see SETU maybe calling the gun there a bit, maybe a bit too early, but it still works out in their favor. As Trinity now have 4 players towards A here, hoping that Trinity going to stack. Asphyxia is going to have 2 players headed towards this direction first. Moon gets a kill on the A side of the map. But Asphyxia does well to get 1. He gets 2 with the... he gets 2 with the 5.7, but he gets taken down immediately. And Awaken takes down a player, takes down one of the A players. Does that pull SETU into... Okay, SETU Warrior? They feel that maybe there's more players towards A. So they're going to send the rest of the forces towards B. QB is here with the deagle, but I mean, they have so much utility to block him out. It feels like it should be a done round for SETU.
Definitely should be here, as they're just going to break their way forward, still taking their time there, doing their due diligence, respecting what could come against them. They've already lost a couple of players, and you don't want to expend more here, tapping with that pistol, the deagle of QB. Gonna find a little bit of work alongside Anime Women Aren't Real, who's just spamming forward here, and now 2 versus 1. There is a world to do it. He does have armor, he does have a deagle, and the weapons are not in reach though. I think he might be able to recover a scout potentially, but other than that, it is just going to be trying to break through here. No utility. If they just play safe, if they don't give away these fights, SETU should be good for a third.
The scout did actually die in pool, actually, so he's not going to be able to actually get it. And Moon, I believe that, yeah, Moon swings out from New Box, off of M4's contact. And that's a relatively stable round. There was a bit of, you know, kerfuffle with Anime Women Aren't Real pushing out with the scout, but it's a relatively... I mean, I just criticize them for going a bit too fast, potentially, and the immediate correction from SETU. So very well played there from SETU.
For sure. Round number 5, though, this is where a lot of the cards are going to be on the table here. TCD, once again, investing a lot here. It's not going to be as much weaponry as you'd like, though. SETU, on the other hand, they have everything they need. They even have that AWP on M4 in hand, ready to do some damage. This triple stack towards B is going to be tested here, jumping on that wood, getting across on the new boxes here as we get thrown away a bit. But this is a huge round. This is pivotal for both sides of the board, because if SETU can win this out, if TCD can be brought down once again in this 5th round, that gives so much momentum to the T side of Inferno. It gives so many moments. It gives an opportunity, but it is going to be a man disadvantage here, as Cristiano Ronaldo CSGO is going to get taken, but TCD's players are low. But the rotates are coming in. The A assault is going to be attempted, and it's just up to TCD to now face back. High flash to slow them down, swinging out from the pit, and there's a swarm of TCD that SETU cannot seem to swim through as they get taken out. QB finds another in Aaron James, and it's M4 left alone. They're all low HP, but the op is one shot nonetheless, and he gets headshotted. That is TCD taking their second and stopping SETU's string of 3.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's potentially because, you know, SETU wasn't exactly tested on that aggressive banana hold from UCD in that semifinals, right? We're seeing it now here from Trinity, and it looks like SETU don't necessarily have the best of rounds to deal with, best of strats to deal with that.
Yeah,
And
and
three
now
again here. A miss, but Cristiano Ronaldo will be taken down. The nades do most of the work. Ozeki will clean that up. And they're just taking the fights on Banana.
yeah, just pushing it with the pistols, but so far it's been 1 kill in their favor, but for the rest, it's just been falling in terms of SETU. They haven't found the grounds they need to. They are pushing around. Oh, gets taken over towards long, though, is awakened, and that's going to kill a lot of the progression they made as they smoke through mid. They're just going to retake it, though. The long player, once again, King Frederick gets his second out. And now it's just M4 left alive to see what they can do, sprinting in the apartments. He does have the bomb. He does have some armor, so maybe you try to break onto the site and get a plant, but for the most part, this is SETU down and out of the round.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say that round, right? SETU lose the man advantage, and then Trinity decide, no, we don't want to give them any space whatsoever. We're going to take the fight straight to SETU, and they challenge them down Banana. They challenge them basically everywhere on the map, but even that re-aggression from long, from I wasn't Ozeki, it was someone, I can't remember, but that re-aggression from long shows that they just do not want to give SETU any chances to get back into this round. So 3-all as a tactical timeout from SETU to see what they want to do with this. Are they going to buy up again?
They could potentially. I mean, they have been known to do that. They're stuck in this situation where they have some players have enough to buy, but not everyone exactly. So instead, we'll see what they can do. We are going to push forward here. There is a moment here to see, but it's going to be tough. It will be a tough decision to see what they are going to do here in this 3-3 position with the momentum behind TCD here after what was a couple of very, very successful rounds, and what will now be SETU seeing what they can scrounge forward. Are they going to perhaps, you know, play a little bit safer here, play for the economy and kind of throw this round a little bit away, or will they invest further and play their cards out?
I kind of want to see some sort of investment from Moon and Aaron James here. Maybe probably Awaken as well, right? They have so much money that I kind of want to see them invest a bit and maybe try and bring the economy more in line with the others, and you know, maybe they can do something this round. Maybe winning is maybe not the goal here. Maybe economic damage to what looks like a pretty comfortable economy for Trinity. You know, maybe do a bit of economic damage here.
It is, but it will be tough. You know, if they don't spend much money, they won't have the util to contest Banana, so they're going to have to most likely, you know, alter the way they're going to go about this as we get forward here. It is going to be such an important one. I think the last time we saw these two teams face, you know, it was obviously a TCD huge victory in the 2-0 fashion. So now, seeing what they can do here, they had such a good start on Ancient, and I'm curious, can they kind of recreate some of that? Can we get the similar effects on Inferno? Can we see a strong showing from SETU, or is TCD just going to once again figure it out and find their way to, you know, take this over on the CT side?
Yeah, I'm wondering how you're approaching SETU. They can go for fast plays, but Trinity, I feel like, are just going to be there to fight them on anything. They've shown it before. They've shown it in the last eco round that SETU had, that they're willing to fight for anything. They're not willing to give up any space whatsoever for free. You're going to catch, and even if they're not going to fight you directly, they're going to fight you indirectly with all sorts of nades. You know, the nades, the Molotovs. It's just spam through smokes. It gets so uncomfortable.
Yeah,
for SETU.
No, it has been very much. I think it's been a back and forth about Banana, but for the most part, it's kind of just been early round, both teams fighting for it, and then the CTs pull back. I think that's what we've seen a lot of, and we'll have to see going into round number 7. SETU investing a little bit here, partially investing, but not quite. Once again, unsure on the intent of this choice, but we'll have to see. They are going fast over towards Banana, though, and that is going to instantly be quashed here. Ozuki with 4, looking for the 5th here, the pistol in hand, the ace on the cards, a 4th for TCD, and that is a massive round to take here. SETU now completely stopped in their tracks and looking to see what they can buy up going into the 8th.
Yeah, it starts off kind of in SETU's favor, actually. But Ozuki's just so sharp with that spray on that M4A1S, by the way, which has less ammo than the M4A4. And the build with the USP, it's just so sharp with it. QB peeks down mid, I believe.
Yeah, he has the off,
Yeah.
and he just
He's
takes
got
out Awaken
wings.
off the server.
Trinity with that man advantage. Even with their man advantage, they're looking to fight. They have bottom banana smokes, and Cristiano Ronaldo cannot get support from his teammates here, as he's blocked off by a smoke. And so 5v3 advantage for Trinity. Aaron James is looking to walk through the smoke, but so is the Trinity player.
Yeah.
What? He doesn't see the player. That's massive for Asphyxia. He only gets one. They have a path straight into B here. No
Yeah,
player will be able to stop this.
Yeah, they're going to just take it. They're going to run and go as quick as they can. Throw down that smoke, take the site, but it's already quick as ever. The rotates into CT as well as the flank through Banana. They need to be ready for this. They need to take the fights. King Frederick gets taken. So now they're back with Banana control. Now it's planted for them. They may be low on HP, but they are the ones that can sit on the time here. Both kits are in the hands of TCD. QB does have an op, which may need to be switched out. But in these last few moments, it's really up to how this fight's going to go. Crossing over, Anime Women Aren't Real gets it for free. The smoke onto CT is going to be disrespected. QB taken down. It's down to the 1 versus 1. It's down to M4 with 3 HP. It is a nade to force him back here, but the time is ticking. The defuse is started, and M4 beaks out, takes the kill, and that is a 4 for 4. Set to even it out. That man disadvantage at the start of the round gets turned around through the sneaky plays through the banana smoke.
But Asphyxia had a golden opportunity to just close out that round. He only gets one. And that's all the space, that's all the opportunity that SETU needs to turn that around. You know, it's even with a low health, he managed to find that advantage, right? SETU's main strength, I would say, is they like their ability to snowball, but also they have the individuals that can compete with Trinity in this match. So it's 4-all. Trinity all gambling 4 towards A. This is really interesting.
For sure, and they've just played very passive here towards Banana as well. There is a flash to force them back here just to show some presence, but for the most part, it is set to... Oh, that smoke in mid is actually not going to do as much as it needs to, so there's full info on display. The smoke here, Ozuki's just playing deep in the pool. This is some very big swings from both sides that are not necessarily hitting the mark so far, but we'll have to see with where these stacks lead and how exactly TCD respond as they do pull away Asphyxia on that rotate. And SETU biding their time, 50 seconds on the clock, still a nice bit of utility to spare here, as it looks like the players on B are going to slowly be starved out of it with that last smoke soon to fade away.
Yeah, SETU getting ready for that B execute here. I'm surprised Trinity haven't rotated more players off. They're not seeing any, well, they're seeing a smoke. But I'm wondering if that's even enough to justify keeping this many players towards A. As the push comes in onto B, Asphyxia, the weight of the world here. Moon cuts off the flank as well. Gets traded. But Asphyxia does so well. And now it's all on M4. 1v2. But with this, I say with this health, but it happened last round. It could very well happen again.
Yeah, and this time around, QB, Anime Women Unreal, trying to do this. He's going to throw the flash, not going to be good for it though, as they are both coming towards him. He sees the angle, takes the fight. It's only good for one here, as Anime Women Aren't Real gets the defuse on in. TCD take the lead once more, as SETU fumble to keep that B site in check.
I feel like in that clutch, M4 had an opportunity. It's served to him on a golden platter, but he can't isolate the fight properly. He swings out too wide and ends up taking two fights, really. I say 2 fights, but one player was jumping midair. He was not ready to take the fight. But he could have gotten that free kill and then actually played out the situation. But instead he swings out just a bit too wide. So
yeah, and yeah, it cost them so much there. It was such a slow play to try to run it out. Great timing on that rotation to be able to bring it forward. But TCD keep themselves in such a strong position in this half, not letting it slip through their fingers, as SETU are bringing some strong moments there. I think their slow A fake, actually, it somehow held a lot of control there. So I'm surprised there wasn't quicker rotates to come on in from TCD in the end, given that, you know, there was that like sub-Paris smoke towards long that just had a massive gap in it. So it does work out in the end, though, of course. And we'll have to see, because surviving with only one player for TCD does have some ramifications on that economy, as they're slowly losing out. So if SETU can win out this round, it'll have a massive knock on it. And so the last 3 rounds of the half are very much up in the air if SETU want to try to fight for it. You know, with those bomb plants, with those kills, they don't have the best economy, but it's something to keep in mind.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Trinity took so long on that rotate, because they were afraid to kind of give SETU that sort of advantage by pushing, like Trinity do so many times. Right? Trinity are so ready to push, but that round, I feel like they didn't really want to, despite having that information read. So they kind of spooked themselves into thinking, "Oh, what if it's still an A hit?" So
Yeah, for sure. But now going into this, they are going to invest in some pistols, but we'll have to see, can they find the success here as they start to take a little bit of space towards Banana here and try to fight away those CTs.
I've just realized SETU have full invested, apart from M4.
Oh.
What? But Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't have money for next round. Is the loss bonus good enough to justify this?
I'm unsure, but I do see QB just taking shots in the apartments. Gonna take out Moon. Gonna try to fire out Aaron James, but great doubling up here towards the pit is going to be able to keep them alive here. SETU just trying to take some moments here. Trying to take some mid control. And now all the rotates coming in, though. The TCD rotated comes in from Arch. We have 2 players swinging out. Asphyxia and King Frederick double up and deal it down as they take a couple of kills for themselves. Aaron James, the only one left alive in the 1 versus 4 to fight it out. Gets another one, spams through the smoke, and try to take some shots. That Tech9 doing work, but not enough to get them over the line. So Anime Women Aren't Real finds him finally, and TCD get themselves to 6. At the very least, they have an even half.
SETU, I feel like we're gearing themselves up for an A hit, but instead of smoking long, because you've just mollied Porch, right? Instead of smoking long and trying to explode onto long, like, because an op can only handle so many people at once on a screen. But they smoke short and try to explode onto long, and there's 2 players there for Trinity. Good read.
But this round, already quick to start and take some kills. QB goes to that peak with that op, gets 1 for his trouble, but gets taken out. So down to a 4v4 already. There is still the backup available in TCD towards the B side here, but that is Banana under control of SETU for the very least to start this round off, as they have fully invested here. You know, questionable economic decisions aside, they've at least spent all their cash here in round number 11.
Yeah, maybe they calculated well enough. Maybe they had the loss bonus to be able to afford, so that they knew they would be able to afford these AKs, and they were willing to go with this Mac 10, because at the end of the day, you can go for like a faster play if you have this Mac 10. So, looks like, oh, this is such a beautiful read from Trinity. They're rotating 3 players ahead of the, and all the info they had is just there from SETU. Is it because Asphyxia isn't hearing anything on B? That they're so comfortable to rotate 3 players to hold this A site? I'm not sure, but this A site's looking very strong, and it looks like they're not ready for it. If King Frederick tucks, then maybe he doesn't go down there. M4 will get the bomb plant in. And another 2v2 situation.
Yeah, and M4 and Awaken going to be the ones to hold down the fort as best they can here. Kits on board are going to be enough. They see the short player Nizuki swinging out, though. Awaken takes the double towards long. Takes the 5th for SETU. And what looked like the stack of the century turns into a fumble and a half as TCD cannot do it. And Awaken gives them their own wake-up call.
I wish we got to see that from Awaken's point of view. That must have been an insane spray transfer. That was so quick as well. It feels like that round is set up for Trinity to win. But the individuals of SETU, that's what was on display there. So SETU set up for, I'd say they're set up for an even half at the end. But there's a shotgun on King Frederick. Really get one. Is Moon expecting him to be so close? King Frederick is trying to go for the P5. He shouldn't go even deeper, but he can't get the flick onto Moon, so man advantage for Moon. Yes.
Oh, and that Molly, that's going to force back Asphyxia. That means they know he's holding close. They can assume. He does have a backup though in Azuki here, and I think they are somewhat aware of it. That flash over, not going to hit him, and they're going to just take the fights. His head is removed by M4 over the half wall, and Azuki is alone to finalize this. Flash forward, not going to catch him off. Needs to take these fights. M4 finds the kill. Well, the M4 finds the kill on M4, and Azuki finds the double. Last round of the half into this 3 versus 3. Doubling up towards Banana as SETU try to take back the space. Aaron James pushing forward here, but the backup and Awakens shot down from behind him. It's this Gala. This AK of Moon, though, takes out. Anime Women aren't real on that long. It is going to be this arch wrap around here. They don't have the bomb in hand. They need to keep going, and Aaron James doesn't have the bullets to do it. Reloading. Moon is the only one left in this 1 versus 2. 20 seconds on the clock. He needs to move quick. He needs to move fast. And TCD need to just hold down strong. They have the bomb under their control. Swinging out is Moon. He does not find it. TCD find their 7th. And SETU are left scrambling on 5.
It feels like SETU almost had a way back into the round, but the bomb is in such a precarious position. And it's just too hard for them to retake. Trinity only have 2 positions to worry about, really. They have to worry about Banana, and they have to worry about behind, because they know they hear the player from behind. But they don't. SETU don't have the utility to really force them back. And one of the players didn't even have the bullets. They had to reload, which allowed Trinity to push down Banana.
So yeah, it's great. Recovered round from TCD for sure, as SETU are not able to do it. But here, TCD on this T side pistol. We see Anime Women aren't real, just running it straight through the mid-smoke. He's the one taking the fights here, but it's all a ruse. It's all just a fake out here, and they forced out the single rotate here. There's still 2 towards B, 2 contest here, and Aaron James with a triple in the CT, spamming forward the backup from M4. No smoke towards CT, and TCD are just sitting ducks in his crosshair.
I thought they had a CT smoke. What utility did they buy? I'm so confused. So many teams nowadays feels like they want to hit B without a cross smoke, but you're setting yourself up for failure, it feels like. Because you have Glocks. They're very close range weapons, and you're crossing a very long range angle, which really favors the USPs. So, SETU managed to score themselves 6 rounds here. But you managed to instantly get a kill. It's all Cristiano Ronaldo. He managed to get 2 here. King Frederick will finally take him out. But that's man advantage for SETU. And there's only 1 player actually inside here. They know where he is now as well. Can he even get the M4?
Yeah, there's a world here. There's a 2v3. There is a couple kits on hand for SETU, but King Frederick mollied out, shot down, long-range MP7. And Uzuki's the sole defender now to keep it alive. Smoke down. It's not planted for him. It's just up to a hope and a dream with this Gala, but he might just save it. You keep your loss bonus if you get the plant off, so why not keep the Gala in hand? It's an extra $600 in fusion as well on the loss. And SETU, they survived with 3. They recovered some of those M4s back, so all in all, it looked like it should have been a worse affair. But they recover it. They even up the scoreline. But now, once again, those kills, that plant, that save, TCD are in a position to purchase up once more.
Yeah, important kills there from Cristiano Ronaldo CSGO. He's been having a bit of troubles in this map, but that 1 round where he gets 3 and allows his team to retake. Yeah. Maybe it would have been easier for Trinity if they had that other player, and they had 2 players inside instead of just 1, and with 1 lurking. So SETU managed to tie it up here, but they managed. SETU not really taking any sort of space whatsoever. They've kind of given it all for Trinity. The Flash is not going to do anything. Cristiano Ronaldo is just sitting on sandbags here. And the ball is... He's not going to respond with any of his own agility. Is he?
Oh, that is a great double up there. He's not mollied out. He sits in the corner. M4 doubles up with Cristiano Ronaldo, and he is going to be able to pick up 2 for 1. That's an advantage for SETU now. And now we'll see what they can do. Awaken pulling back here off the back of smoking mid. Anime women aren't real. He catches a glimpse of the pit player, but not going to find the head. So they know that there's a lot going on towards A, and they're going to start to peek out accordingly. Moon takes the first one, and now going through short, going through apartments. QB's good for the first, and Awaken is sitting in the box. Hits his first, and Aaron James finds the finale to survive and set to take the lead, importantly.
I mean, this is what you want to see from SETU, right? They're down a map. This is your map pick, and it's a very good start to take. Is this the? No, this is not the first lead they've had. It's not the first lead they've had.
No, they had the 2-1 lead. They had 3-1 lead to start us off in this game. But now, retaking it this late in the match is pivotal, especially off the 7-5 end of the half. You have won 3 in a row. You are looking for a 4th here as TCD. They invest as much as they can, but it's just pistols. It's a couple of rifles. But one of them falls out of the hands in an apartment, and the rest of them are trying to scramble their way through Banana here. But the defense is set up, ready, sitting back towards the site in CT.
Yeah. SETU aren't seeing anything towards A here. I'm wondering why they're not rotating, as the hit is preparing to come in for Trinity. Only 2 players will be here to actually defend the site. M4 decides, you know, it's good for me to push in front of the smoke. They'll jump through. Cristiano Ronaldo CSGO will get 2, but it's traded out. Aaron James through the smoke will take down Ozuki. And now QB is left in a 1-on-3. He has okay, and he has a resmoke for CT. He takes a fight ahead of the smoke and manages to pull under 1-on-2. This is very doable. But does that give too much information away? He gets a kill on Awaken. It's a 1-on-1 now. It's all left on Moon. And he's left doubting everything. And Flash will allow him to push through the smoke. He's expecting him in. He's expecting ruins. He's not... Moon pulls it back for SETU. They're almost out of hand for SETU, but they managed to convert that round 9-7. The economy's very good for Trinity here, actually. They were only on pistols that round, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that was crazy, though, to be able to take that over. Should not have been that close, it felt like, in the 3v1 initially. But the fact that it was, the fact that now SETU are 2 ahead, they keep that round going. They might have lost a lot of players, but they can invest nicely. And now we're going to have to see what they can do. 9-7, it's going to be tough. TCD, great time for a tactical timeout, though. This is when you want to reset. You want to get your head in check. You want to see what you can invest. You want to kind of opt for whatever you can do. And now going into the 17th round of the half, who is going to keep it going? Because this is pivotal. This is where we get to see, can TCD claw it back, or will SETU get themselves to double digits?
We'll have to wait and see what Trinity have come up with. I believe it was them that took the tactical timeout, right? I believe it's Trinity that took the tactical timeout, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, yes, I'm just double checking.
Oh, a great shot from M4. That's a massive kill to get early. Early man advantage into the full buy of TCD. They wanted to take some banana control, but instead they're going to take some fights in apartments. But it's going to be the success of SETU once more. King Frederick brought out of the picture 5 versus 3. And Anime Women Aren't Real is left alone in the apartments, fending off while the rest of them try to break their way forward and open up banana.
I mean, the one opportunity... I mean, that's a very aggressive setup from SETU. So 2 of the players will head towards B. Because with such an aggressive hold, you feel like they have to be playing 3 towards A. With such an aggressive sort of towards A, sorry. You have to feel like they have to be playing 3 towards A. So they're going to go into where they feel like there's 2 players, and they've guessed right. Everyone aren't real is still in apartments, potentially trying to find a pick to maybe draw a rotation over the SETU players. But they're not seeing anything. Arch is still completely empty, and there's a player boosted up on here. M4 just sitting here. A beautiful pre-fire from Asphyxia. What is that? And
Yeah, fantastic shot. Now Cristiano Ronaldo still in the boost. They did not smoke off high. He is just going to sit, bide his time, wait. 20 seconds on the clock. Once they start planting, perhaps he starts, but he's going to take the shots and miss them, whiffing away from Asphyxia. They get the plant on down. And it's going to be this 3 versus 2 retake here. They have kits, they have some utility, they have the rifles. It's up to TCD to keep it strong, to defend themselves well. Catching the shoulder, though, they're going to get a glimpse here, doing the jiggles, catching the sight here, but Aaron James is not going to find the kill. Instead, Moon falls accordingly to Azoki. And now towards Dark, towards Coffins. It's a 1 versus 2 now, just out Aaron James. Towards Dark, but Asphyxia finds the final kill, surviving with that 4 HP due to the whiff on boost. 1 round between them, and SETU take that. It's tried, it's tested, it's tough, but they do it.
if Cristiano Ronaldo got that, just even 1 kill there, if he took a bit more time to line it up, then SETU, I feel like, would have been in prime position to just take the map there. But that's a 4-on-2 for Trinity. I believe it's a 4-on-2.
It is.
I don't know whether Anime Women Aren't Real died before, but if it's effectively a 4-on-2 on the B site. And Trinity are being given a lifeline back in, feels like a lifeline back into this map. SETU are now forced onto pistols. 1 player has an SMG. And SETU are just hoping that they can find what feels like lucky shots into Trinity now, with no utility, with 1 smoke, right? But it feels like it's barely counts as utility compared to what Trinity have. The smoke's not perfect actually. As Aaron James will peek out. Oh, Aaron James botches the kill, gets nothing, and A will fall down. Will fall with 0 players. Lost for Trinity on A. What? M4 will be able to take a player out by pushing that, by pushing out that B smoke, but he's already saving the AK. He knows there's no chance in this round. He doesn't have a kit. He doesn't have armor.
No. This is just a save for sure.
That's just a save.
Yeah, definitely. And now, SETU, that's such a crucial round. The previous one is what opens the door up, and TCD take the opportunity by the horns and push it as quick as they can. Winning the last 2 is massive. Getting it to 9-9 is massive. It's really up to SETU, though. Now the score is going to be evened up. Now TCD are in a great position. Now M4 might get checked out, but he's going to hear the steps. He's going to take the fights. He's going for the first, can't take the second, so he's not able to keep the rifle on hand. But they should potentially get some kind of buy-up. They don't have the loss bonus, though, so it really is a question of how do they want to run this.
I don't agree with that peek out from M4. It feels like he thinks he can get 2, but I feel like if he gets 1 and then plays maybe for that straight swing, yeah, maybe he can get out there. But he feels like he's a bit overconfident in that save. So though it is a save, they lose the round anyway. It just means that they won't be able to take that AK into this round. So
yeah,
tied up 9-9. Tied up 9-9. Trinity have pulled it back from, I believe it was. What?
9-7. We had a 9-7.
Yeah.
So they've won the last couple, which are huge. Yeah, the saved rifle would have been such a boon going into this, because that is just such a big amount of money that you lose out on by dropping that. There was a nade involved. So now TCD, they're in a great position here. They're starting to build an economy here as well. But if SETU can find their way back in, if they can claw their way to double digits first, there is a massive game available to them that opens up. But for now, it is going to be a question of how do they want to do this. We're going to see, I think, it looks like full investments across the board, which is going to be huge. We are seeing that M4 to pick up the Mag 7, which I'm curious to see how they're going to run this. It does look like it will have to run its way towards Banana.
I kind of half agree with this buy from SETU. They do have enough money to be like, oh yeah, we should definitely be doing something with this round. But full investing everything into this round, I don't necessarily agree with. The bomb from Awaken takes down King Frederick, and Moon takes out Army Women aren't real, who's looking for the trade. So 5v3. And everyone with that.
Yeah, this is SETU having a strong setup, but now TCD, they bounce back here. The lack of utility and strong weaponry means that Banana is open for business, and the B site is ready to get planted. The smoke towards CT gives them time to cross, but in a 3 versus 2, there's a world here. We've seen them fall in this position before here. They have a couple kits on board, but no utility is going to make it tough to get this op out of the way.
Yeah, talking about the utility, Trinity have 2 mollies and a nade and a flash. It feels like they can burn so much time here for SETU. But they're not using their utility just yet. A molly now, but it's missed. Is that on top of the bomb actually?
It was. The molly's going to slow them down, but they should be able to still defuse it here. They both have kits on hand. It's only the 5-second here. Trying to see what they could do here. It's going to tick down, but that's a defuse on the cards. That is 10-9 in favor of SETU, who get themselves to double digits. That is a big round for them to take. They make such big moves. The aggression towards apartments, that nade that had to dunk the balcony player is pivotal there. The Mag 7 and Banana as well finds a kill, and what a retake to do it. I think that them pulling out the util is actually what cost them. QB wasn't posted up ready for the banana push. The mollies are used, but they don't slow it down. They just falter Trinity's chances.
Yeah, I feel like if that utility just comes out a bit earlier, then it prevents SETU from actually taking those fights. And yeah, puts Trinity in prime position. Now they have beautiful flashes from Mozuki. Get them to the mid smoke. And they're already waiting. Are they looking for a Awaken ban? What? They're probably gonna put CT. As Kushir on CSGO will take 2 before going down himself, but does dinks onto King Frederick. And there's a player on B here, sorry.
Yeah, and he's going to be in new box and to try to slow them down. Throws the flash. They know exactly where he is, and he's now just trapped in the corner. Takes fights, but dealing damage. Go for the first and tags down QB. So it might be down to a 2v2, but there's some damage dealt. There's kits across the board, and there's so much util in the pockets of SETU. They are going to be in a position to try to fight this, especially with how quickly these rotates come in. We have CT. We have towards Banana, and we have a chance here. But look at this setup they're going for. The double up towards Pool. They know where the last is. They know where Ozuki stands. And they're going to have to keep an eye out for pushing back through his own smoke, faltering back towards it. Weird to molly the new box there, given the info you have. But for now, I think they're waiting for him on site. The spam comes on in. He has a smoke, though. He can't just smoke off this defuse. The spam comes in. The rifles fire. And Awaken's trying to find that bomb. He's looking for it. He's spamming. He's out of bullets. And Ozuki, he's going to look for the knife. He needs to get there in time. He gets one in. He gets a multiple. But it's SETU that gets the defuse. 11-9. And Awaken in the smoke diffuses right under the eyes of Trinity.
What was that from SETU? It feels like, it started off, that retake started off quite well. They get the kill, and they know where the last player is. I believe they had the player in ruins already holding the cross. They know he shouldn't have been able to cross back into sight, I feel like. Unless the player wasn't there in time. And so they molly new box, which feels weird, considering no one's watching CT. And then the player goes down, just feels like completely unaware that CT was even a possibility.
Yeah.
And he's ninja diffusing the smoke. What was that round?
Yeah, fantastic from SETU, but this time around, Trinity open it up. King Frederick has found a kill in the apartments, takes Awaken, upgrades that MP7 into an AK, and now they're making it competitive. Trinity, they have the nades in hand, they have the setup situation, they have the control that they're looking for now. And it's up to SETU to see what they can do here. They've won the last couple of rounds, but it's been costly. It's been one player surviving. It's been spending so much at the start of every round to reinvest for your nades, for your weapons. And it has been TCD just chipping away at that economy as they built it up with the plants with the loss bonus.
I see Trinity throwing a CT smoke in for B, trying to pull out some of the last remaining utility here from SETU. SETU with no nades anywhere on the map, whereas Trinity have enough for what feels like it actually got into both sides. As Moon wasn't being expected, but he is taken out anyway. And I mean, the B site, the A site defense for SETU just collapses immediately. They don't have the utility to fight back. They don't have the player advantage. And it's just clean shots hit from Trinity. So
Yep.
Trinity onto 10 here.
Yeah, Jame time comes in as SETU. They're just going to give this away. The two bleed players know they can't fight back into this with the weapons and the utility. So TCD take the 10th, as you say, and it's one round between us. It's SETU going to be struggling going into the next here, so saving is crucial. We have to see, can they complete it? Can they finish it? Can they keep the weapons on board? As the chase looks like it is on, at the very least, Azuki is poking and prodding towards the Cathedral.
They do have a crossfire setup here. M4 is taking the peak. What? Why is M4? You have the crossfire. Why are you deciding to peek here? And both players for SETU are going to go down. Why does he go for the peek? They have a beautiful crossfire setup, so that if anyone decides to challenge them, they're going to be pinching them from both sides. So, what SETU had the gun. They had the opportunity to save two, I believe it's AKs into the next round, or it's two rifles into the next round, and now they have to take a tactical timeout because they have nothing.
Yeah, that was very quick and perhaps incorrect decision making to end it off, but that's the minutia. That's where things can get jumbled up here. You know, you have your great ideas, you have your mechanics, but sometimes it's just, you know, those small moments where you hear the steps, you make a decision, and instead it's going to be a struggle. Tactical timeout has finished out for SETU as they are making some decisions alongside this, looking at their money, looking at their situation and seeing what they can do. It seems like what they are opting for is just some pistols, nothing crazy, making sure they can buy into the next potentially. But TCD are on the cusp of taking us to an even match, 11-11 here on Inferno.
I mean, we've seen people do wild things with these pistols, right? So let's not count SETU out just yet. Trinity have the advantage, but anything can happen in this match. We've had ninja defuses that round we're just there. So Trinity taking very slowly, as they're very cautious because, I mean, SETU did take a timeout. You would assume that they have some sort of plan here. I think they just took the timeout to discuss whether or not they want to invest into this. Because the money on Cristiano Ronaldo CSGO and Awaken is probably enough to justify pistols. Awaken gets a kill on B, I believe? I can't even know.
On King Frederick, he takes out the long player as well, and that's going to be some trades coming out, but the pistol, it can't finish out the headshot. Too long a range, and Ozuki stays alive, but the damage being dealt with these pistols is so high. But 2 versus 3, it doesn't look like it should be enough. The bomb is planted. Maybe you can find some weapons left, as loads have been dropped around short, and you can perhaps pick up something. You still have a deagle on Aaron James that could potentially find something. Ozuki just posted on the angle, takes out that deagle. Just M4 left, and now just going to try to recover that AK. He's going to pick it up and walk away as best they can. They have no armor, so just got to get far enough away from that bomb radius. But a saved rifle here is massive, especially, you know, you're talking about the economy, you're talking about how much it matters. And that means you don't have to buy a rifle. That's 2,900 saved up. That's a couple more kills in favor of SETU that might matter. I don't know if it will. There's only a couple more rounds left in the half, so the money is still happy out, so I don't think you mind losing too much. But that's huge for SETU. AK in hand, he can perhaps drop that. He can get more utility. He can get a kit on board. That could be the difference maker between a map win or losing this finals 2-0.
Yeah, I feel like SETU could have just gone for exits there. The Trinity players were low enough. If they managed to, you know, pick up those more guns, I feel like their buy is much more comfortable here. But the utility is partially there, not fully there. QB with ready.
Ooh. Boone trades it out, yeah. But I think Kubi was potentially going to go for another shot if he had the chance. Instead, though, into this 4v4, into a massive round for both sides.
Yeah, I think I'm favoring Trinity in this situation. SETU have been very willing to just use their utility early, which has led to situations where SETU haven't had the best tools to be able to hold on to the sites. I feel like if Trinity throw, let's say, a smoke CT here, that's gonna force out like a molly and a smoke for SETU, and like a flash. Like they've just been throwing out so much that it kind of. Oh, well, I say
Yeah,
too much. They're just going in.
Yeah, the exact 40 seconds in, they have to go for something here. They tried to push it over. Aaron James in the back of the site, in the new boxes, takes one, has to reload that M4. Still alive, though. The off-no scope from QB is going to take him out, and we're down to the 3v3. The bomb will be planted down in the B site, and it is Trinity to try to keep this going. They want to win it out. They want to take this 2-0. And they are slowly pulling themselves closer and closer. Great op shot from QB to take out Moon. And now in the 2 versus 3, how do you fight back against this? You have some flashes, you have a kit, but you do not have enough time perhaps here. As breaking forward, great shot though to take out Azuki, Asphyxia, and QB double up, take the kills, and Trinity, they're on to 12, they're on to map point, they're on to game point, they are on to national finals point here on Inferno.
I just want to bring up the fact that SETU could have gone for exit kills there. Instead they feel compelled to go for this retake, but it's already such a sketchy situation. If you can keep your weapons while denying Trinity's, Trinity didn't have that good of an economy actually. So I mean that round win does give them a lot of money, but I mean SETU had a chance there. I feel like. And now look at their weapons. You have 2 FAMASs, an M4, a Galil, and I believe that's a 5.7. And Awaken looks like it might be taking first contact here in towards apartments.
Oh.
Doesn't get the kill onto Asphyxia. So he will have to duck out a dodge there.
Yep, forced back now, and it's still in the 5v5, still time ticking, but that just means SETU are slowly being run dry of this utility, slowly coiling around and making it so difficult for them to do anything. Trades, though, are going to occur towards Banana. We are going to see Azuki find M4. And the timing is not in Awaken's favor. They're re-aggressing into apartments a little bit too antsy, going for a dry, and now all alone towards the A site is going to be Moon here. Rotating though, Aaron James, he needs to be quick to do it, but I don't know if he can be quick enough. This MP9 needs to kill a whole horde. He's ready. Flashed out though, swings forward and QB shoots him out of the car. 2 versus 4 stands between Trinity and this victory. 30 seconds, but it doesn't matter. The bomb gets planted. It's a FAMAS, it's a 5-7. It is very little to work with. QB though, uncharacteristic miss isn't gonna do it. King Frederick finds the double, finds the map, finds the match. That is TCD winning out the Ireland Esports Collegiate Series CS2 National Finals over SETU.
I mean, congratulations. Are we cutting?
Oh,
yeah. Congratulations to Trinity there. You know, it felt like SETU, it is their map pick. They come in so strong. Here it feels like they have so many ideas, but those last couple of rounds I feel like just slightly mismanaging their economy, and it gives Trinity just that little edge that they need to win out those rounds. Feels like.
Yeah, massive win here as we see teams get their handshakes. Absolutely massive from SETU though, I think, to bring the fight that close. I think there was a world where they take it to map 3, that they can get it over, but once again, TCD just showing why they keep winning in these finals. It is such a strong display, it is such a strong game, and in the end, they're the ones that are able to take it over the line.
Yeah, I mean, props to SETU, right? They came in so strong and ancient. Maybe they kind of calmed down a bit, but I mean that Inferno was just so entertaining to watch. Like there's all sorts of things happening, going for all these ballsy plays.
Yeah,
but I feel like just in towards apps, I feel like they just run that a few too many times, like really contesting that, and it feels like the Trinity are ready for that.
For sure, for sure. But great adjustments though over there for both sides. Both sides were taking these big swings, as you say, and it worked out a lot of the time, but often it didn't. There was a lot of clutches, there was a lot of moments, there was a lot of times, you know, it was down to those 1v1s, those 2v2s, those massive moments of just individualism, not those set pieces. And in the end, TCD, I think, just have individualism in spades. I think QB, I think, would be someone that I point to there. You could see near the end, the op shots they were hitting, I think, were pivotal. Throughout the game, though, everyone was taking their pieces. I think Ozuki as well was another player that had a phenomenal display here on Inferno at the very least.
Yeah. I mean, there's players from SETU I want to shout out because, I mean, again, they were playing so well here. You know, even in some scenarios, right? Cristiano Ronaldo, you know, not necessarily the best series, but that 3K on B, really showing up when the team needs it. I believe, was it SETU that got the ace?
I'm actually unsure. Oh no, it was Trinity. Ozuki got the ace on Banana
okay.
with the M4 and the USP. So that was a massive one as well. But overall, I think you know, not to throw anything away from them, but I think we were expecting a lot more of a, you know, a bigger 2-0 from Trinity. I think that was what was going through the heads of a few of us, you know, seeing how they've done so far in all of Collegiate, seeing how they've done this season. We were expecting a much, not necessarily stronger display, but for SETU to not necessarily put up as big of a fight here. So that's where a lot of that respect's got to come into, to get it to a, you know, 11-11, to get it to a moment where it is very much the minute plays that matter. You know, those small clutches especially that really take it over the line, and that's what matters at the end of the day when you're on this stage.
Yeah, the host is getting ready for an interview.
But no, yeah. So absolutely, once again, congratulations. And to show us what exactly was going on that stage, we are going to take it to Sandbag.
Thank you so much, casters. Commiserations to SETU, coming up so close, 13-11 in the second map. One more time for the runners-up of Counter-Strike 2, SETU. Come get your... You're taking your photos. You're getting it for the Red Bull. 5 here. And for the very final time, the last game, Counter-Strike 2, TCD, your champions. Captain Jack, come out here. I'm gonna interview him though. Jack. How are we feeling off the back of that one? A 2-0, but about as close to 2-0 as you could get.
It was way harder than we expected. Like, we expected a fight, but Jesus Christ, you know what I'm saying? It was really close, but we pulled through. There were some very low lows, especially on Ancient 05, that timeout. Thank the God. But yeah, we're feeling good.
Pulling out all the stops, and I remember seeing near binders worth of preparation. How long were you guys prepping for this? I saw the sheets backstage, flicking through paper after paper. How much of that came into play?
It was mostly just tendencies, because you can't demo review too much. There's not a lot of games because the seasons of Premier were a lot shorter. Like, it was 3 games, 4 games for this season, so it was a lot harder. It was mostly just positions and basic tendencies that they had, and that's all we used it for.
Right. Any last thing for the stream? As you're going to be the final game, you want to sign this one off?
I just want to say thank you to Red Bull,
Right.
IECS, the whole lot, and to our friends that came out over there. Big bless. And that's it. That's all I have.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. The rest of the team, come join Cap here. Can present you with your finals. TCD Counter-Strike 2 Grand Final Champions 2026.